Hello everyone, back with me again, Joseph, your host, and welcome back to our Catechism for Kids, where we explore the lives of the saints. Today we're traveling back in time to the Roman Empire to meet a very brave man named Saint Chrysogonus. His name means golden birth, and his story truly shines with courage and faith. Have you ever had a friend who helped you be brave? Well, Saint Chrysogonus was exactly that kind of friend, and his story is closely connected to another famous saint, Saint Anastasia. Let's find out how his bravery continues to inspire us almost 2,000 years later. So, who was Saint Chrysogonus? He lived a long time ago during the rule of the Roman Emperor Diocletian. At that time, it was very dangerous to be a Christian. Emperor Diocletian didn't like Christians and ordered soldiers to arrest anyone who believed in Jesus, but Chrysogonus was not afraid. He was a wise and kind teacher who lived in Rome, and he spent his life sharing the good news of Jesus with others. One of his most famous students was a noble Roman lady named Anastasia. Her father was a powerful Roman official, but Anastasia chose to follow Jesus, and Chrysogonus was her spiritual guide. He taught her about the Bible, how to pray, and how to live a life full of love and kindness, just like Jesus taught. They became very good friends, a friendship built on their shared love for God. Chrysogonus helped Anastasia grow stronger in her faith, preparing her for the difficult times that were ahead for all Christians in Rome. This special friendship shows us how important it is to have people in our lives who help us stay close to God, as the persecution under Emperor Diocletian grew worse. Brave Christians like Chrysogonus were targeted. Because he was a well-known Christian teacher, he was arrested and thrown into prison. Imagine being locked away just for believing in Jesus. Must have been cold, dark, and lonely. But even in chains, Chrysogonus' spirit was not broken. His heart was still full of light and hope. From his prison cell, he found a way to keep in touch with his friend, Saint Anastasia. He would write secret letters to her. In these letters, he didn't complain about his suffering. Instead, he comforted Anastasia. She was also going through very hard times, and his letters were like a warm hug for her soul. He reminded her to stay strong, to keep praying, and to never, ever lose her trust in Jesus. He told her that God was with them, even in the darkest moments. These letters show us the incredible power of friendship and faith. Saint Chrysogonus wasn't just thinking about himself. He was still being a teacher and a friend, encouraging others from behind prison walls. He lived out the very lessons he taught, to love and support one another, no matter what. After being in prison for about 2 years, Chrysogonus was taken from Rome to a city in northern Italy called Aquileia. There, he was brought directly before the Emperor Diocletian himself. This was the ultimate test. Diocletian wanted to force every Christian to give up their faith. The emperor pointed to the statues of the Roman pagan gods and commanded Chrysogonus to offer a sacrifice to them. Offering a pinch of incense to these statues was a way of saying that the emperor and his gods were more powerful than Jesus. Can you imagine how scary that must have been? Standing before the most powerful man in the world, surrounded by soldiers, and being told to do something that went against everything you believe in. But Chrysogonus stood tall. He looked at the emperor and calmly but firmly refused. He knew that Jesus is the one true God, and he would not pretend to worship false idols, not even to save his own life. He chose Christ over safety, truth over comfort. His courage was a powerful testimony, showed everyone there that his faith was more precious to him than anything on earth, even his own life. Because Chrysogonus refused to obey the emperor's order, Diocletian was furious. He gave the command for Chrysogonus to be executed. The soldiers led him away, and he was martyred by beheading. To try and erase his memory completely, the soldiers then took his body and threw it into the sea. They thought that by doing this, no one would be able to find him, bury him, or remember him as a hero of the faith. It seemed like a sad and final end to the story of this brave teacher. But God had other plans. The story of Saint Chrysogonus didn't end there. A short time later, his body washed ashore. It was found by a holy priest named Zoilus, who had been guided by a vision from God. Zoilus and other secret Christians carefully and lovingly took the body of the martyr. They gave him a proper Christian burial, honoring him as a hero who had given his life for Jesus. Instead of being forgotten, the story of his courage and martyrdom began to spread. Christians were inspired by his unwavering faith. The emperor tried to hide his body, but God revealed it, showing that the light of faith can never truly be extinguished by darkness. The memory of Saint Chrysogonus quickly became very important to the early Christians. His fame spread from Aquileia all the way back to Rome, the heart of the empire. Christians in Rome wanted to honor this great martyr, and soon a church was built and dedicated to him. This church, located in a neighborhood of Rome called Trastevere, is still there today. It's called the Basilica of Saint Chrysogonus, which is Italian for Saint Chrysogonus. It's one of the oldest churches in Rome. For centuries, people have gone to this church to pray and to remember his incredible story of bravery. A special relic, which is a small part of his head, is kept there in a beautiful golden container called a reliquary. His name was considered so important that it was even included in the Roman canon, which is the central prayer of the Mass. This means that every time that prayer is said, Catholics around the world remember Saint Chrysogonus. Even though he died on November 23rd, his feast day is celebrated on November 24th, the day his church in Rome was dedicated. So, what can we learn from the life of Saint Chrysogonus today? His story teaches us so many things. First, it teaches us about the power of Christian friendship. His letters to Saint Anastasia show us that true friends help each other stay close to Jesus, especially when times are tough. A real friend encourages you to be brave and to do the right thing. Second, his story is a powerful lesson in courage. Chrysogonus wasn't afraid to stand up for his faith, even in front of an emperor. He teaches us to be proud of our love for Jesus and to never be ashamed of what we believe. Sometimes standing up for what's right might not be popular, but it's always worth it. And finally, his life reminds us that our true home is in heaven with God. Chrysogonus knew that his life on earth was temporary and that an eternal reward was waiting for him. He was willing to give up everything for Jesus because he knew that being with God forever is the greatest prize of all. His story encourages us to live our lives for God, knowing that he is with us every step of the way, and that he has a place prepared for us in heaven. Saint Chrysogonus was a teacher, a friend, and a martyr. His golden birth led to a golden life of faith that continues to shine brightly for us. He shows us that one person's courage can inspire countless others, and that a life lived for Christ is never forgotten. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn about the incredible Saint Chrysogonus. I hope his story of bravery and friendship has inspired you. Remember to be a good friend like he was, and to be brave in your faith every single day. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories of the saints. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy as usual. See you next time, and God bless you always.